go.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Masters Fantasy Show, brought to you by MastersFantasyFootballLeagues.com. As always, I'm joined by the Masters crew, Dynasty Owl, the Doc. What's up, guys? How you doing?
Doing great.
I'm great, Kamish.
Good stuff. That was the first time I got Dynasty Owl out with a straight face since then. But today, real quick, we're going to be doing 3 wide receivers we think you should go buy now after the NFL draft. Before we do, just want to pass along, if you're looking for a place to play Dynasty football, we got over 600 leagues. Also posting fresh orphan teams daily. Go to the top of our homepage. You'll see the orphan link. Great way to get into one of our Dynasty leagues, half price. Previous owners paid your deposit. With that said, let's jump into this. The floor is all yours, guys. Whoever wants to go first with the first buy wide receiver.
I'll take this one, and I got a little bit of a deep take here.
I got deeper.
Maybe not the most exciting, but I think it's one that will be beneficial for anyone. My buy here for the wide receivers is Nelson Aguilar for the New England Patriots. And I know that might sound like kind of, really? You know, Nelson Aguilar's gained a little bit of negative fame with the whole, that video of the guy making fun of him for dropping everything and all that good stuff. I mean, it's been a tough career path for Aguilar, but he had a great season in Las Vegas last year. A very quiet, underrated season for him. And the Patriots gave him $12 million a year to come in. And, I mean, who else is there? I mean, when I think about it, they paid Kendrick Bourne, they paid 2 tight ends, but at receiver alone, there's not really a whole lot there. I think it's going to be Aguilar who kind of separates himself as the guy. And now they've got a guy in Mac Jones that they drafted who, I mean, again, not the most sexy pick, but he's accurate, and that's all you really need. He's going to be able to get the ball to Nelson Aguilar, and Aguilar is going to be able to do a lot after the catch with it like we saw with the Raiders. And, I think we might see a little bit of a career resurgence after, things in Philly kind of went south. But, I still like his talent, and he's still going to be relatively cheap because, again, it's Nelson Aguilar, and he's kind of got that tied to him, that kind of baggage where people aren't really big on him.
Right.
So I think it's a sneaky buy you can get, and he could end up producing pretty good numbers for you.
Yeah, I love the take, and honestly, it's a funny thing because the reason why the fantasy community and all of us sour on him so quickly is because he was a first-round NFL draft pick. Yeah. He was a guy we were taking early in rookie drafts, just a few years back. And then we love to throw out that bust label so much, and we just, get so negative on these guys who don't pan out right away. But the truth is, I mean, he's a talented receiver. There was a reason why he was a first-round pick, even if it was a little bit of a reach. And, yeah, I mean, back in my day, just kidding, but you know what I mean? Like back in the day, you used to give guys 3-4 years before you really had true expectations, and he had a very quiet, good year last year.
Yeah.
And there's not a ton of weapons in New England, and I think he fits what they're looking for. They paid him. I definitely like him more than Kendrick Bourne. N'Keal Harry is another guy who's a first-round pick who hasn't panned out yet, but I don't see many reasons to not go get Nelson Aguilar.
I think there's something to be said for a guy like Nelson Aguilar too, who's gets that bust label and then backs it up with the season that he had last year. And that tells me that he can
and still doesn't get the recognition.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right.
Great buy low.
And I've said on another show, I remember as he was putting up some of them good games, guys still weren't picking him up off the waiver wire.
Like we just get this idea in our head, and I'm a victim of it too.
Yeah,
I don't have any Nelson Aguilar shares.
Me neither.
But I mean the numbers don't lie, and sometimes it just takes guys a few years.
Yeah. And something that keeps popping into my mind is like Mac Jones. Looking around the wide receivers in New England, like, wait a minute, what's going on?
Yeah.
I mean, this guy's had the luxury.
He's going to go from 4 first-round receivers to Aguilar and Kendrick Bourne.
He's got 2 first-round receivers.
That's true.
Well, I mean, maybe he just treats them like they're Devontae and Waddle.
Yeah, he could.
I mean, or maybe he made those guys. Who knows? We'll find out. All right, and I'm going to shoot off mine here real quick. My buy now wide receiver is going to be Calvin Ridley. And I know he's a guy we've spoke about. He is a little bit older than a lot of guys think. Keep that in mind if you are going to get him. But something I was thinking about, I like buying him while Julio's still in town. Even though I am starting to think, I don't think they're going to get rid of Julio this year.
I agree. Now the draft's come and gone.
Correct. Yeah. But having said that, one of the things I really worried about Calvin Ridley the whole time was like post Julio Jones, could he be a legit number one when he's the focal point of the offense? Atlanta comes out, they signed Kyle Pitts. It just made me feel a lot better about Ridley and that offense going forward for the next 3 to 5 years post Julio Jones, because I do think they may keep him this year and make a run, but I mean, his time's definitely dwindling there. I think it is time for Calvin Ridley to step up. And for me, like I said, I like that he's going to have Pitts there with him to help take some of the pressure off of him, keep that offense moving, post Julio Jones, maybe even post Matt Ryan. I just personally like his outlook a little bit better now with Pitts there.
Yeah, hard to disagree with the take. Definitely agree. And yeah, I feel better about it post-draft because I was a little worried they were going to go complete rebuild and, trade away Julio and Matt Ryan and draft quarterback relatively high, which they didn't do. Because then I was worried about if they're just a complete rebuild team, like how. But no, I'm pumped that Matt Ryan's still there. I'm pumped they're trying to put up some points this year. Yeah. Because I mean, they're gonna be throwing the ball and they got a lot of talent on.
And then I also do think, I mean, it does hurt his value a little bit this year. But I think take that into account when you're going to buy him.
Yeah.
Because we're all going to be looking at him like, well, dang, Julio's there, Pitt's there.
And the truth is,
Ridley's value down.
Julio's there on paper, but he's probably going to play, half the games if we're lucky? Yeah. I mean, not even trying to diss Julio. It's just the way it is.
Right.
So.
Yeah, and kind of piggybacking off you, JK, I mean, I think that's the perfect reason to go get him.
That's right.
I mean, they add Pitts. Julio's still there. I mean, as much value as Ridley carries, I mean, I think it did take just a touch of a hit with them drafting Pitts. And I think in the long run, that's going to be good to go get him now because, I mean, there's a very good chance he's, again, looks even better this year than he did last year. Julio could be gone a year from now, and then Ridley's going to be impossible to go get.
Yep. Yeah. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. There you go.
Thanks, Doc.
Yeah. All right, Maya.
Yep.
So the Doc went deep with Nelson Aguilar.
Wow.
I'm going deeper with the guy that Nelson Aguilar covered up.
Oh, no.
Las Vegas receiver Brian Edwards. Almost forgot his name for a second. Brian Edwards.
Wow.
Third-round pick last year. Complete flop. Did absolutely nothing as a rookie. But a little bit about Brian Edwards, for those of you who don't know. Went to South Carolina. Played there all 4 years. Produced big time as a true freshman. Under 18 years old. He was 17 years old during his freshman season. Deebo Samuel was also in that receiving room, and he still was able to put up some numbers and without a great quarterback. Plays very well all 4 years at South Carolina. Gets to Oakland as a third-round pick. He's 6'3", over 200 pounds. They draft Ruggs in the first round, him in the third. Ruggs doesn't really fire as a rookie, but, we see the potential big play threat Ruggs is. But really, that alpha chair is wide open in Las Vegas. To me, Brian Edwards looks the part much more than Ruggs, given their skill sets, and the Raiders did not draft a single skill position player this year on offense. On top of that, there's a very small chance, very, very small chance that Aaron Rodgers maybe could end up with the Raiders, and then all of a sudden, I mean, it's Brian Edwards and it's Henry Ruggs. Nelson Aguilar is gone. Darren Waller is obviously a huge threat, but I mean, from the receivers on that team, I think Brian Edwards will be better than Henry Ruggs from a fantasy standpoint. I really think so. I think he's their true number one. I think Henry Ruggs is the true big play number two. And then Darren Waller's the real number one, but the tight end. So, yeah. And actually, while I was on my way here, I offered John Beast a trade in a league. Just gave him a throw-in guy and a third. The throw-in guy was literally like a free agent. And a third-rounder next year for Brian Edwards, and I got him. So,
excellent.
Yeah, so, my point is, go off for a future third, and this guy could hit.
Yeah, I would say
I don't know if I'd give a second for him, but a third, I'm all over it.
I don't even know that he's going to be on most rosters,
I was going to say, I was hoping to find him as a free agent and some. And if that's the case, you can always give him the third round of your rookie draft. But yeah, I think Brian Edwards has a real shot of firing. And he's still only 22 years old, even though did all 4 years of college and had his rookie season that kind of come and went without anything. But yeah. He's big, he's decently athletic, and there's no other receivers really to compete with. So
yeah, and I'm just sitting here thinking, I'm not sure how the contract situation works, whether Aaron Rodgers has any control over where he goes.
I don't know.
But if I'm Green Bay's management and I want to stick it to Aaron Rodgers, that's exactly where I'm sending him.
Yeah, that's a good point too.
Yeah.
And it came out that he's actually intrigued by the Raiders. Maybe. Yeah.
Which is a little shocking, but I'm just thinking when you look around, I mean, that's probably the worst spot.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Talent-wise, you could send him. Yeah. So if I'm Green Bay, I'm like, here you go, man.
Yeah. Enjoy it.
But with that said, I mean, all them guys are going to, do much better with Aaron Rodgers as quarterback.
Worst case scenario, Derek Carr is his quarterback, and I think he's okay. Best case scenario, it's Aaron Rodgers, and then I think he's be pretty good.
Yeah,
good stuff.
honestly, yeah, I love that take. I was tapping Brian Edwards to be like a deep sleeper last year. It didn't really pan out, but I mean, a lot of positive words about him from camp last year. And I think we'll see a big jump year two, just because I mean, yeah, there's not really a whole lot there, and like you mentioned, Ruggs is going to be deep over the top.
Yeah.
Edwards has that chance to be the number one, like you said. I love it. It's a great buy low.
Yeah, good stuff, Dynasty Al. All right, guys. Appreciate you so much for watching this episode. If you could, hit the like and subscribe button. I'd love to have you at the Masters family. Any last words?
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.